Hi everyone. Regarding warehouse management, we all know that companies continuously strive to optimize their picking process. And I'm sure many warehouse operators have had nightmares about not knowing what to do with all the pickings they were assigned to. But also warehouse managers taking too much time to optimize or improve the pickings for the operators. This is why Odoo v16 adds a level of automation to the existing picking method with a new feature called automatic batches. I'm Louis, business analyst at Odoo, and today I'm going to present you how to optimize your picking process. In other words, I would like to show you how you will be able to manage your pickings better, faster, and stronger than before. First, I'm going to explain to you the existing pickings method in Odoo. And then we are going to analyze and discover the new automatic batches feature in the database directly. First, let's talk about wave picking. Here, we focus on the product. For example, wave picking involves allocating a specific storage zone per employee in order to pick the items for that specific section. The pickers collect a group of goods and send them over to be packed and shipped. The second method is called batch picking. Here, the main objective is to increase the operational efficiency by assigning one single employee to a batch of orders. This picker will take care of simultaneously pick the items for multiple orders at the same time and in one trip. Finally, cluster picking. This picking method is an advanced version of batch picking. It allows operators to pick products for multiple orders at the same time. This is the most efficient picking method for dealing with great numbers of orders with multiple SKUs. In a practical way, pickers are going to load a cart with boxes. Each box is represented in Odoo by a package, and the package will gather all the products specific to an order. But for example, here on the slides, we see that sales order number 3 and number 4 are actually linked to the same customer. This is why we can regroup them and put them in the same package. In this case, package number 3. Let's dive now into our database to see how it works in Odoo and also to discover this new feature. So here we are on our database. Our business is selling products for smartphones, like accessories, such as cases, screen protectors, power banks, etc. So the first thing I would like to show you is how you can benefit from this new feature when receiving goods from your supplier. So here, let's go into the purchase module. We see that we have different purchase orders that have been already validated. 2 of them are actually linked to the same vendor, and one is linked only to the Super Gadgets vendor. Thanks to the new feature, in the inventory module, we can regroup automatically the receipt per vendor by going to the configuration, operation types. And on the operation type receipt, I have activated the automatic batches feature here. When activating this, you're going to have different groupments that will be available to you. You can select one or multiple. We're going to see that in a few seconds together. So here we are on a type of operation receipt, and the operation type is received. So basically, we have a great flexibility with this new feature, because based on the operation type, you're going to have the possibility to choose different groupments according to your needs. Here under, you have also like criteria such as maximum lines per batches, the number of transfers, but also the maximum weight per batch. And these here are additional criteria that helps you to go a bit further when building your batches in order to match with the maximum capacity your operators can manage. At the bottom, you have the auto-confirm checkbox, and when it's checked, it means that it actually bypasses the draft status of your batches. It means that when you activate this checkbox and your batch is created by Odoo, it's automatically considered that in progress, and it will be available in the barcode for the operators. So let's dive now into the barcode application. Here, the purpose is not to scan the products, but to show you how it looks like in Odoo. Basically, the operators will go in the operations or batch transfers, but let's say for now that we are going to the operations. We can go in the receipt and see that we have 3 to process. Automatically, Odoo, based on the configuration made on the operation type, created already a batch for these 2 receipts because they are linked to the same vendor. So the operator can click on the batch and scan the product to say that he actually received all the product in stock. We will make it simple. We'll just scan all the product and validate. Here we still have 1 receipt to validate for cases. So now we've received all the product in stock, and we will be able actually to fulfill the demand coming from, let's say, the e-commerce. So here on the sales, we see that we have already some sales orders coming from the e-commerce. We see that we have different customers, and also in brackets, I've put the country. We need to know that actually on the e-commerce, it is possible to add a shipment, a shipping method. So you could choose DHL or UPS, for example. So how this new feature can be really useful for us with those sales orders. Actually, if we go into inventory module, configuration, and operation types, we have the possibility on the delivery orders to actually group by carrier, let's say, and destination country. And this is something that will be really useful for us because this is something that we're going to use every day. Let's say that for our business, we decided to be in 2 steps outgoing shipments, which means that first we have to pick the product. So here we have this pick operation with 10 to process. And for this picking, as a warehouse manager, I would like to manage those with a wave transfer. So I can go in the 3 little dots, operations, and here, let's say that I'm usually using the group by locations. Why? Because we can say that, for example, the power banks are located in a specific location because they are considered as dangerous goods. Here we have all the other accessories. Let's say that I select all of them in the accessories and I add them to a wave. I create a new wave transfer, and here I will assign it to John Doe. I confirm. So I have my first wave transfer created. Then I am able to click here in mass for a new wave transfer. And I can assign, let's say, myself. So now, in the barcode application, or even in the backend, we see that we have 2 waves here that are created. So in the barcode application, we can go in the batch transfer, let's say, and here take a favorite filter with operation types. We clearly see that we have two waves to process. I will process my wave, so I will just go in it and pick all the products. Let's say that my employee John Doe is doing the same. So he goes on the wave and pick all the products as well. He has far more products to pick because they are actually located in a specific location with all the other products. So here we have quite a lot to scan actually. So when it's done, we can validate. Now, because our products have been picked, they will be ready for delivery. And as I showed you before, we decided of a specific groupments for this operation. So automatically, if we go in the tend to process, we see that we have those batches created by Odoo automatically. And those has been created each time Odoo find an option. So if we group by career here, and we decide to group as well by batches, we see that for each shipping method, so using DHL or UPS, we have 3 batches here to process and 2 for UPS. Why? Because it's actually grouped by the carrier and then the destination. So in the barcode application, in the operations, if we go in the delivery orders, we see that we have all those picking that can be processed. But as well, if we go in the batch transfers, we can actually make the exact same filters, favorite filters, and we see that we have all the batches here that appears on the delivery order operation. Those must be processed by our operators. We'll not go and scan all the products. Here you see the purpose of this new feature. Let's say that now, because we have shops, we would like to replenish the stock of our different shops. Let's say shop alpha and shop beta. To do so, I have created as a best practice a new operation type, central warehouse, to shops. And here I have 5 to process, 4. So on these 4 transfers, Odoo created automatically 2 batch transfers, so number 7 and number 8. Why? Because in the configuration, I decided on that specific operation to group by destination location. And we can see here that we have 2 different destination locations, one for alpha and one for beta. This will be really useful to track all the transfers you are going to make for the different shops. You can easily just create a sublocation of your inter-warehouse transit location. From there, you can go in the barcode application, let's say, and go to the batch transfers. And here, we can see that we have all batches here selected. This is really useful because maybe you're going to have a lot of transfer in order to replenish your shops, and you would like the operators to actually gather all the products at the same time. So now, thanks to the batches, the picker will have to scan all the product for the same destination location. And here it will be done really easily. So here, for example, I showed you how to do it for one batch. You can exactly do the same for the batch number 7. So basically here, we've seen together that this new automatic batches feature can be used for different operations. And the flexibility is put on the operation type level. So you can use it for deliveries, for receipts, but also for internal transfers. So from now, you will be able to actually manage your picking better than before. you will decide in the backend how you would like to create the batches, which increase the user experience. And this is really important for your warehouse. Then you are going to manage your pickings faster because you won't have to actually create your batches manually. Odoo will do it for you and speed up your processes. And finally, you are going actually to manage stronger your pickings than before. Because from now, your operators won't have the possibility to create the batches from the barcode, which increase the total reliability. Thank you for your attention and stay tuned for the Q&A session.
So the first one is if for a production, could we split the picking of the production? For example, if you have product of 200 units, could we split the picking for the first 20 and then second 20 and stuff like that?
So you mean like you want to create a production with 200 units?
Yeah, and then the picking, like not all of them at the same time, but like, for example, for 20.
Okay, but in what way you're going to use the automatic batch? Like, I'm not sure on which groupman you would like to make this, but of course you could do it. But if you want, we can discuss it at the product booth if it's not clear enough. But here, of course, you could actually create your batches manually if you want to split for 20 and then 50 and then I don't know the rest. So yeah, you could do it.
Okay, cool, thanks. Second one is, for example, when the person receives X different products with barcodes at the reception and they have to scan them. For example, they have a lot of SNs. A bit after that, they want to move them to another, from reception to another location. And is there a way to automate that process? For example, not to have the need to scan them again at another location, but just to change location automatically.
Okay, so you mean like you receive all your products
at the reception, and
at the reception, so you are in two steps: incoming shipments.
Yeah.
You put them in the input location.
And you scan them there, and then you move them to another location.
Okay.
Can you skip scanning them the second location, but just
we
change
could actually, like with the one I showed you here, use the feature like you can validate everything at once, so that if you're sure that everything is done beforehand, you could actually just validate everything at once and move everything to the next location.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, thank you. Third one is, can you do an automatic batch for all pickings to a specific location? For example, pre-production planned for one day.
Okay, so here I think it's the questions a bit more related to the production, so manufacturing. I advise you to come to the product booth and we are going to answer these questions over there.
Okay, there are a couple of new ones. Can you still move a product inside the warehouse if they're already in a batch?
Yeah, so a batch here, you could, for example, overwrite the batch, like the automated one created. If you assign the picking to another batch, for example, it will be automatically moved from the first one to the second one. And of course, you could actually decide to delete some pickings in your batch and process them manually as you want.
Okay, cool, thanks. Does the automatic batch creation apply to multi-step processes, for example, three-step, etc.?
Okay, so here I showed you that we could manage that with 2 steps incoming, outgoing shipments, for example. So here, of course, because you will be able to manage your automatic batch on each operation, you could actually manage the groupment so that it fulfill your needs.
Okay, cool. Also, Odoo reserve products with defined SNs, but sometimes it is difficult to find the SN that Odoo reserved. So the question is it possible to pick another SN instead?
Yeah, you could. Actually, on the batch transfer, you have a specific view of your transfers, your operations, but also your detailed operation. If you would like to change something in your batch directly and take a specific serial number, let's say, you could change it from over there and then validate your batches.
Okay, interesting. Also, are we able to change GS1 configuration to read expiry dates with different prefixes?
So here, I think it's a question more related to the barcode. I advise you to come to the booth because we have so many questions with GS1 and we'll be happy to help you over there.
Okay. Are several users able to pick on the same picking operation simultaneously? So if not, are you able to split the picking operation and assign the different users?
So basically, a picking is assigned to a single person, but of course you could actually do it for your colleagues. But here you have to keep in mind that only a user can be assigned to a batch or a picking. You won't be able to assign an employee. And if you want to work like together on something, or if you want, for example, to do the job for your colleague, you could do it, of course, with a scanner.
Yeah, the next one is similar to this one, but is it possible to couple this behavior of batch selection with priority values defined on products or into space location definition?
So you mean, I'm not sure, you mean with wave picking? I don't know who answered that question.
Yeah, can you just add explanation?
So we
to
don't have currently automatic wave picking, I would say. Okay, so this is probably an improvement for the future. Right now we are focusing on the batches because it is more it is more useful. But of course, we could improve it for the wave and group by product location, etc. If it's needed for some customers, of course.
Okay, cool. Could we group automatic batch pickings based on website? For example, orders from partner side versus end customer side.
Okay, so basically, when all your sales orders are coming from the website, you have a specific sales team that will be assigned, and you could actually group those based on that and create your batches.
Okay. Is barcode available in CE version in version 16?
Sorry, what's the question?
Is barcode available in CE version in version 16? I'm not sure what CE is.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this this question actually.
Please
Do not hesitate to come to the
try to
product
add
booth
more
and we're
details.
gonna,
Is it possible to auto-refresh product location in Odoo 16 delivery order if we manually select serial lot number? Because it's not possible in Odoo 15.
Okay, so is it possible to
Auto-refresh product location in Odoo 16 delivery order?
Not sure about what you mean about auto refresh. So don't hesitate to come to me right now after the talk so that we can discuss it together.
Okay, there's one more. Is it common to store received products in display boxes, for example, 40 units per display box, and pallets, for example, 20 display boxes per pallet? How to manage these direct sales of each size container? Breakdown from pallet to display box to units, stock counts, and ordering pallets from individual units in orders?
That's a good question, and that's a big question as well. I advise you to come to me because we can discuss it a bit more, like depending on your use case, etc. I think it's really interesting to take all the information into consideration and answer as best as I can.
Okay, cool. I guess that's it from the pad questions.
Okay.
I can ask one of my own questions.
Yeah.
For example, is there a barcode to open a batch directly from the barcode app?
Yes, it is possible. So basically, you're gonna have the document with the badge, and you're gonna have a barcode for the badge. So if you scan this barcode, you're gonna fall directly on the badge
Okay, cool.
and all the product that you have to
Cool,
scan.
cool. Is it possible to assign badge to an employee that is not a user?
No, so this is what I told you before. So we cannot actually assign an employee to a picking. We can assign an employee to. We can assign only a user. Sorry.
Oh, there is one question, like, what is your email for follow-up questions?
Yeah. So my email is lwh@odoo.com, and feel free to come at the product booth, and I will give you a business card if you want.
Okay, cool. I guess that's it. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you so much.